Good morning. I definitely have my breath back now. Anyway, yesterday was the first time I'd been on a rower for properly for years. 500 meters, started out as I would have done years ago. I used to do it at the end of a workout. I'm probably going back 10 to 12 years now. Started off it tells you your expected time. I was going with that. I was thinking, wow, I've still got 250 meters left of the 500 meters. And before I know it, I'm close to stopping with 100, and then I'm like, right, I'll keep going. Anyway, I stop at the end, and all of a sudden I'm like, wow, my lungs feel like they've not been hit like this in years. And it was quite a shock to the system. And the reason I'm telling you this is I was speaking to someone yesterday who was almost said the opposite, in that they were like, I haven't realised how fit I've become. Morning, Joss. In my legs, they were kind of looking around, and a few people have said to me in the last few days they've done it with their kids as well, like plank, squats. And this is a reminder of how specific fitness is, and the use it or lose it mentality and physiological adaptations that we have to exercise, in that there's never too late to get fit and strong, but also if we do nothing and we accept the way we are and we just go through our day, so in this instance they were like, they do sport, like their kids were doing sport, but yet they try and hold a plank and a squat and they could barely do it. And she was like, I all of a sudden felt like, wow, what I'm doing is actually having a massive impact. Now they want to get stronger and they're having a positive impact on them as well. But my point here is that when it comes to, I've got two elements I want to talk about today. When it comes to the fitness side of things, it is very specific. So if you sometimes don't realize how unfit you become. I'll be honest, I didn't realize how unfit I was cardiovascular until yesterday. And what inspired me was I went to a conference a few days back, and there was someone there who's talking about their training they become the UK's fittest man in 2020. And I was thinking, yeah, I need an event. So 3 days passed and I've signed up for 2 events. Well, I'm not signed up for one and I'm about to sign up for another, to give me that motivation to do it, to have that goal, that target that's almost non-related to look, if you like, as well. So I signed up for that, and all of a sudden I've got some urgency back. So I've done a little bit of a test, and it's been a bit of a wake-up call, because now I need that type of fitness to do these events. And I'm like, wow, that's a wake-up call. And it's a bit like someone said to me the other day, they were like, I don't want to be out of breath. Well, I went on this normal walk that we did last year, and at the start of lockdowns, as the weather's, I say, got better, getting better on off, bit up and down. And she was like, yeah, I couldn't believe how out of breath I was compared to what I normally was. And she wants to change that so that in this summer, when they're going on more walks again, that she's going to be more fitter, and that allows us to kind of program a little bit better. But at the same time, protect your joints, because it doesn't mean you need to sprint, run. Good morning, Sarah, Joss. And the other element of this was the food side of it. So I was having a chat with someone who just started yesterday onto our 28-day program, and they were like, yeah, I'm going to book in my first session for Monday. And I was like, you can book in tomorrow, Sunday. And they were like, yeah, I think I'll start on a Monday. And I was like, well, you're starting today. She's like, yeah, that feels already really uncomfortable to start on a Saturday. Who starts on Saturday? Because there's something called the Last Supper effect, which almost skews a lot of research studies. And the reason I'm telling you this is we just do it in everyday life. So you could argue it doesn't skew research studies. It's actually a reflection of real life, and we need to start the study earlier. Let me explain that. So let's say you come in and we're going to do a study on diabetes, like my study in postgraduate was on low-calorie diets and putting diabetes, low-calorie diets in people with pre-diabetes, and seeing if that impacts their insulin sensitivity, so how they respond to the hormone insulin after a glucose sugar load. And we got people in, and I got volunteers to come in. Yep, I'll do the study, Matt. Well, then I tell them, right, when you come back in 3 days' time, we're going to put you on this low-calorie diet. It's about 700-800 calories. And what do you think they do for 3 days? They eat loads for 3 days. So even though we take baseline measures, like what's your weight, what's this, you're going to come in 3 days, and then we're going to take your blood, and then give you a glucose drink. Then we're going to take your blood for 2 hours every 15 minutes. They didn't even get paid for that, by the way. They were just inquisitive. It was great volunteers. They just sat there going, time to take your blood again. And they were given 800 calories of food and nothing else. Great volunteers. If you're ever interested in studies like that, I would definitely message. If you're ever just curious and wanted to get your, because obviously they got full blood measure. And caveat, one person we had to stand to the side and say, I think you better go and speak to your GP, because they had no idea that their blood sugar levels were so high. Obviously you can't diagnose and say, but you can say, I think your blood sugar levels suggest that you need to go and see a GP. Anyway, but what happens in between that gap is we've got baseline measures, then they go and eat a lot more because I'm about to starve myself. Then that skews the actual study. Now, that also skews what we do. So if, for example, you're starting Monday, then you're like, I'm starting Monday so I can just eat everything now. We're missing the point, because it's never going to be sustainable, because what you're planning to do is obviously not fit for your lifestyle, number one, because you shouldn't need to get rid of everything. It should be a choice. I'm choosing to make this decision to eat this because I want to. I'm happy to do that. Yes, it might slow my results down, but actually that's okay. I'm making this choice. Does this choice take me closer or further away from what I say I want? Is the pain of change harder than the pain of staying the same? These are questions that need to come into it. Small habits, compound effect with that. Anyway, I hope that helps. I will be live tonight in our Kickstart group, 5-day Kickstart. If you're not in on that, click the link in the comments and I'll send everything over for you so you're in the right place. I'll be live at 7:30 tonight just to go through how the week's going to work. We're going to be going over 3 elements of this, so our 3 legs of the stool, so the food side of it, how to put together a step-by-step simple plan that you can apply straight away in literally minutes, not like, what recipe do I need, what all of that do I need, because then you'll need to go shopping, then it'll be next week, another week past, then you're on holiday, then it's Easter, then there's chocolate eggs. How to stay in control of the mini eggs. The fitness side of it, so we're going to be going over short workouts straight in the morning. You can do them whenever you want. You don't have to do them at 6 a.m. You can do it when suits. 10 minutes, done. Muscle strength focused, low impact, so we get that done straight away. Then the accountability side of it, I'll be live every evening, 8 p.m, answering your questions. Doesn't matter if you can't come into them all. You can catch them up on replay, but it'd be great if you want to come in, ask more specific questions, because like I've covered today, I've covered a few topics, but I'm sure there's some spin-offs, and already the comments in the group have been great in terms of like where they're at right now, what they're struggling with, chocolate picking when I'm working from home, from lost mojo to all of these things. Hey Sarah. So if you want to come in on that, I'll put the details in the comments and I'll see you then. Take care, have an awesome Sunday, and I'll see you soon.